A lot of video games require a certain level of grinding for experience to level up and be better prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. When it comes to grinding for XP, JRPGs are the worst for it, and fans already know to expect intense grinding sessions.
Don't cry.
But they do make up for this by often including some special, lesser known exploit in the game that rewards inquisitive players with XP cash cows.
The feeling you get when you discover one of these fast XP exploits is indescribable after the hours of monotonous grinding pain because you were unaware of a certain secret XP farming location, or a gaming mechanic that significantly increases XP gains. Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Craig, and today we want to save you lots of time spent leveling up by listing 5 of the best XP exploits in video games, specifically JRPGs.
In Final Fantasy XV, there are a few things to note when you want to level up fast. Firstly, sleeping at Galding Key or Altissia whenever you can afford it can double or triple your XP gains. Secondly, consuming a triple-decker sandwich at the Chocobo Farm grants 50% bonus XP until the effects wear off. Thirdly, you gain the Beast Whistle in Chapter 4 that summons enemies forth during battles. Finally, Cactuars, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I'm not too sure, are the best XP exploit in this game, granting players 3,333 XP when defeated. If you utilise these mechanics, then you can level up at an insane rate.
Cactuars, yes, we're rolling with that, are a recurring enemy in the Final Fantasy series that look like a cactus. In Final Fantasy XV, although the most obvious way to level up is by completing the many side quests and bounties that oversaturate the world, Cactuar farming is the best way to level up fast. Cactuars are quite rare, but they can be found at the Perpetuous Keep enemy base in Duscae and in Lead, northwest of Hammerhead.
I have had a lot of luck effortlessly encountering Cactuars in these locations, but if they do not appear, you can use your Beast Whistle to summon enemies until Cactuar shows up. I have heard that Cactuars spawn more often during sunrise, but I have never tested this to see how true it is.
There are 3 types of Cactuars in Final Fantasy XV, the regular Cactuar, the Slactuar, yeah we're going to roll with this, and Gigantuar, which is linked to your hunter ranking and is part of a bounty hunt. Cactuars are skittish and will try to run away, so it's best to hit it hard and hit it fast with daggers and guns. They are also weak to ice and thunder, but I would avoid fire magic since they are resistant to fire.
Not only are Cactuars great XP farming fodder, but they also drop Oracle Ascension coins and Cactuar needles, which are pretty valuable items in the game. The coins can be sold or used to power up spells, and the Cactuar needles can upgrade weapons and are needed to complete the A Better Crossbow quest given by Sid in Hammerhead.
So, knowing all these things, the best way to level up ridiculously fast is by following these simple steps. Eat a triple-decker sandwich at the Chocobo Farm for 50% XP earnings, go to Duscae or Lead, summon and kill Cactuars for 3,333 XP each time using guns, daggers, ice or thunder, then sleep at Galding Key or Altissia to double or triple the XP you bank. Rinse and repeat. Trials of Mana is, for the most part, quite easy providing you take the time to participate in battles between point A and B. However, the game does have its difficulty spikes, and in order to get the Platinum Trophy you need to defeat Anise the Witch, a level 76 enemy on hard mode.
As far as I am aware, unlike Final Fantasy XV, there is no special rare creature that you can systematically seek out and destroy for a large amount of experience, but XP exploits do exist. Here are the most efficient ways to level up fast in the game. The first is to take advantage of battle bonuses, which grant opportunities to gain additional XP by fulfilling certain battle conditions. If you defeat enemies without taking any damage, you gain 10% additional XP, and if you defeat enemies within 10 seconds, you get an extra 5% XP. You can also gain less additional XP for defeating enemies within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and by using class strikes.
Having battle bonuses in mind when participating in battles from the very start is an easy means of gaining more experience, but there are other things you can do to further increase XP gains for grinding sessions. There are also several types of experience boosting cookies you can acquire and consume that give you between 5 and 20% bonus XP for 10 minutes. Cookies can be found in treasure chests or by planting item seeds you find around the world in magic pots at inns in towns or near the mana statue in Anise's Stockade, which is actually a great place to grind before facing the post-game boss.
Planting item seeds can grant you different items, and the rarity of the item depends on the kind of seed planted, which can range from normal seeds to bronze, silver, gold and mysterious question mark seeds. This applies to cookies also, and cookies may or may not appear when turning in item seeds, so it's best to save beforehand so you can simply reload the save until a cookie shows up.
The best cookie is the mythic cookie that gives 20% XP for 10 minutes, and although cookies cannot be stacked, they are stacked with battle bonuses. So although there's no specific creatures to hunt down, you can still see considerable boosts in the amount of experience you gain from battles by exploiting battle bonuses and the cookie system.
You might think that Octopath Traveler is a chilled out, easy ride, but this game is deceptively challenging, with huge difficulty spikes appearing every chapter. The fact that experience points do not carry over to the 4 of the 8 characters that are not chosen to be in your party makes things even more difficult. Luckily, the developers offered us an olive branch in the form of Kate's.
Octopath Traveler is a very big game, and there are several mandatory and optional dungeons to explore that can be great for finding loot, secrets and grinding XP and JP, or job points, needed to unlock skills. The best way to farm XP, especially early game, is through battling these Kates, which grant a large amount of XP upon defeat. It is best to start intentionally grinding when you reach at least level 20, and need to start the second chapters of storylines that have recommended levels of between 20 to 30.
Kates are rare beasts that randomly replace one of the foes that appear in battle with multiple enemies. The Whistling Cavern and Eastern Sunshade and Twin Peaks in the Riverlands are great places to reliably farm Kates at a lower level. When defeated, Kates grant 1000 XP, which is considerably more than the average foe.
Even if Kates don't appear for a while, the creatures found in these dungeons offer a decent amount of XP themselves, albeit lower than Kates, but they are still worth the time. Later in the game you can also farm Cultured Kates and Chubby Kates, which grant even more XP. However, you would need to be a much higher level to go after these.
Furthermore, once you complete Alberic's questline, you gain an XP boosting accessory called the Captain's Badge, which increases experience gained through battling by a whopping 50%. Although ironically by this point you would have participated in a considerable amount of grinding and Kate farming already to have completed the questline in the first place.
One of the biggest complaints we hear about Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch is how grinded the game is. The grind is definitely one of the reasons why I haven't quite taken to the game the same way Heather has. It is not very kind when it comes to XP in the first section of the game. And what makes it harder is that once you are appropriately leveled for the area you find yourself in, the creatures start running away from you, making it harder to overgrind to prepare for the next area. The XP gains can be pitiful, but there is a reason for that.
When you get the boat, the world opens up and explorers may happen by miraculous XP godsends called tacos. And yes, I know I pronounce tacos in a way that differs from the way people think it's pronounced, but to me, it's tacos forever, you won't change me. Anyways, tacos can be found on Ugly Duckling Isle, which forms part of Swan Islands. Although they can be challenging to defeat due to how skittish they are, and the fact that they are accompanied by other fierce familiars that occupy the island, the XP gains are worth it.
The tacos on this island grant 2000 XP when defeated, and as long as you visit the island well prepared and appropriately leveled, you should have no issues taco farming. Be sure to stock up on MP restoring cappuccinos and espressos, HP restoring items and phoenix feathers before going, since this island is far away from any place where you can restock.
Later in the game, you can farm tacos on the route to Perdida, which grants 9000 experience when defeated, and they spawn a lot more often. This is my favourite mid-game farming spot, and is how I managed to easily max out my character levels to level 99. If you have been actively participating in Horace's riddles, Perdida is where he gives you the Veil spell as a reward for solving his riddle. The Veil spell is fantastic because it prevents detection by creatures by masking the user's scent, which, of course, is brilliant for sneaking up on tacos that run away the moment they see you approach.
Endgame taco farming inside the Ivory Tower gives players a massive 29,000 XP when defeated, but these are the hardest ones to farm since they are so scarce. It's better to focus on taco XP farming since, by the time one taco appears, you could have farmed 5 tacos in Perdida.
I'm a massive fan of this game and I have already uploaded a bunch of Ni no Kuni related tip videos, including a guide to all Horace riddles and video demonstrations on how to efficiently farm all 3 types of tacos, so be sure to check those out.
Dragon Quest is a strange one because one minute you can feel like a battling god defeating enemies with a single hit, and the next minute the tables have turned and you end up with your face in the dirt after 5 seconds. The best way to level up fast is by encountering the many metal slime variants. Metal slimes are a recurring foe in the Dragon Quest series and can be tough to kill, but are definitely worth the time and effort to farm owing to the massive XP gained through their defeat, making it easy to level up multiple times after a single battle.
The random encounter system in Dragon Quest XI allows players to see enemies in the field and choose when to avoid or attack, unless you opt to play in 2D mode, which I personally prefer. Metal slimes, however, are never visible. Instead, they join the visible enemy when combat begins, and fortunately, their appearance is not completely random. Once a metal slime appears after challenging a specific foe, there's a good chance that the metal slime will appear again if you challenge the same creature.
We don't want to go into too much detail because there are so many different variations in the metal slime hierarchy throughout the game, all granting a different amount of XP as well as vicious variants of creatures with considerable XP rewards.
Regular metal slimes reliably show up in the Gallipolis and Dundrasil regions that grant 2010 XP. Liquid metal slimes found in Insula Orientalis give 10,050 XP. Vicious metal slimes in the Heliodor region grant 60,060 XP, and there are many more. I could probably do a separate video on just metal slimes.
Early game, it's best to farm regular metal slimes in Gallipolis. They are easy to kill, spawn quite regularly, and grant 2000 XP, which is considerable early game. Note that metal slimes can be defeated with a single critical hit, and it's best to stay clear of magical abilities since magic has no effect. Hit them hard before they have a chance to flee.
Something else I want to mention is that when Jade and Sylvando are both pepped up, they have an ability called Electro Light, which replaces enemies with metal slimes of a similar level during combat, making them much easier to farm. This ability is a little risky, however, since sometimes things go awry and difficult robot enemies appear instead of metal slimes, so be careful.
So there we go, there are 5 fantastic XP exploits in video games that you should definitely take advantage of.
Let us know in the comments if you know of any other games with great ways to cut down the grind, because sharing is caring. I've been Heather.
And I've been Craig.
This is Amalgamingle, and thank you very much for watching.